Hey, what is going on, crypto people? So listen, the freaking FASB, the Financial Accounting Stability Board, made this big change, this massive change for United States companies and corporates, and no one's really paying attention to it except for Michael Saylor. Go figure. Now, Michael Saylor would have us all to believe that this is only about Bitcoin, right? This is only about Bitcoin. Well, it's not. This move that the FASB has made, this change or upgrade in accounting standards, is for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other cryptos. Let us not sleep on that. We're going to get into it. Simon Dixon from Bank to the Future reminds us that the U.S. is catching up to the international standards, right? To the IFRS. U.S. previously had what they had GAAP accounting, which really was a major impediment from U.S. companies and or businesses to be able to hold digital assets. But with this new change, upgrade or standard from that the FASB, which is Financial Accounting Stability Board, this is going to allow for companies, businesses, market-making businesses to be able to account for the crypto that they hold under, guess what? Fair market value. Fair market value. What has been the big buzz? What has been the one of those small, divisive subjects or topics in the XRP community? How dare Jimmy Valley and the what was it called? The Confidential Committee? I don't forget the name of this committee. How dare they come up with something called the fair market value for XRP? And lo and behold, the standards body, I think 50 years in business, coming up with accounting standards for this country, has changed it from GAAP to fair market value. And the change was not all, but mostly around digital assets and companies being able to hold and account for these assets in their treasury. Don't sleep. Don't sleep. People think it's Michael Saylor would have you believe that this is just a Bitcoin thing. It's not just a Bitcoin thing. It's Bitcoin. It's Bitcoin and it's digital assets. Well, sure, the vast majority of people will want to hold Bitcoin, but not in the XRP ecosystem. They will not only hold Bitcoin, in my humble opinion. This will allow them to hold XRP, in my opinion. What does this do for Ripple's upcoming IPO? Because right now, XRP is not on the balance sheets. What does this move in accounting do for Ripple's upcoming IPO? No one's talking about it. We're going to talk about it a little bit, but no one's talking about it. Look, it's football season, baby. Keyless, South Texas crypto football, NFL. Tonight, I will be front and center with my favorite libation and some freaking chips and some guac. Let's go. That's right. Let's do it. But no one's talking about this. Michael Saylor, again, is having everybody think this is about Bitcoin. You got to think about that. This change from the GAAP accounting standard to this new fair market value. And let us not forget all the blah, 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 blah going on about fair market value for XRP. Now we got this massive board, 50 years in existence, coming up with this fair market, standards, fair market value standards. Well, let me ask you this. If a company holds XRP or any other asset says, this is what we kind of think the fair market value is, and the board happens to say, we kind of don't, what are they, the company, going to bring to the board to say, this is what we're basing it on? You think they're going to go to CoinGecko? Although I love CoinGecko, you think they're going to run to the charts at CoinMarketCap? No, they're not going to do that. They're going to need to have some framework from people, quote unquote, qualified in that space of setting these kind of fair market value models. Do you see what I'm saying? Jungle Link is in the building. What's going on, my guy? I appreciate you, bro, more than you know. Appreciate you checking in today, brother. Think about that. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, companies will be able to have something to turn to. What are they going to do? Come up with their own stuff? You think the board's going to say, oh, you got this thing? Oh, okay. Like they're going to have something. Do you realize that the whole Athey and whatever, Mitchneck, was it Mitchneck? Mitchneck and Athey, they have to come up with something. These companies are going to have to be able to look towards something. But I ask you, with this new upgrade in the standards from the Financial Accounting Stability Board, what does it do for Ripple in their, if anything? What does it do for Ripple in the upcoming IPO? What does it do for companies that have been waiting to be able to hold XRP and put it in their treasury and be able to account for it? Again, I'm going to show you the article, but the article is fair market value. And this is what Jimmy Valley and the boys have been working on. It doesn't mean that their whatever models they put together are accurate or are going to be the standard, but a company and this FASB they got to have something to look to. They got to have some reference point in addition to Mitchnick and Athey, Susan Athey, right? Does that make sense? This is kind of where I am. We're going to get into that. Look, David Schwartz's keynote speech was pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. You know, he was kind of dancing around some stuff, but hey, it is what it is. We're going to come together. Hashtag be louder. We're going to come together. We got to do our own part to make things happen for sure. Very, very cool. We can't forget what Ripple is doing with their grants, with the foundation. We can't forget that, you know, dishing out the cash, you know, the help projects that are building on the XRPL. We can't just, you know, toss it to the side and say, you know, what have you done for me lately type deal. We can't do that. We got to recognize that they have been doing some stuff, right? They have been doing some stuff. So we're gonna get into that. But I just think, you know, I just pulled up Molly Elmore's post. I don't even know what you call it anymore on X. But I just pulled up her post and she was asking people to go over these little fair market value evaluation models, share them, take a look at them. I was just thinking about this a couple of days ago, Jungle. I find it very, very interesting that Jimmy Valley and the confidential committee have been really, really, really quiet. And I asked myself, Siege, what do you think they're up to? Did they just pack their bags and go home? I don't think so. I don't think so. Michael O2 is in the building. What's good, my guy? How are you? Kev Cleveland is in the building. What's up, babe? How you doing, man? I couldn't watch the live. How was David's talk? Jungle says, I couldn't watch the live. How was David's talk? David's talk was good. It was interesting. I think he tiptoed, I think he tiptoed around hooks. I think he was complimentary, but I think it was, kind of bland complimentary. I think he wanted to not kind of go down one direction or the other, very neutral when it came to that. But look, very, very excited about the AMM. He was really, really excited about that. And this XLS 38 is going to be very, very, very interesting. And by the way, he said that He said, I thought this was interesting. Trevor, Trevor, what's going on? What do you mean, boo the Giants? Trevor's like, boo them Giants, my New York Football Giants. So he was kind of he made it interesting. He said something that I thought was really interesting. He said that he said a lot of people think the AMM is us catching up. He said, no. The order book was the thing that caught us up. We were caught up from the beginning with the order book. He's suggesting that the order book was ahead of its time. He said the AMM is a game changer. It's not catching up to Uniswap V4 or V5 or V6, wherever they are nowadays. It's like, no. The AMM is groundbreaking. And then you pour into, or you add on to Mickey B. Fresh's latest video on Prisma, and what they're looking to do with tying it all together with bringing ODL and Liquidity Hub. That's it's a sleeper for the XRPL. I think Futureverse is going to be ginormous for the XRPL. I really, really do. But anyway, that's my talk for tonight was really about, I wanted it to center around the Financial Accounting Stability Board and this recent announcement of changing their accounting standards for the digital asset space, allowing or removing the impediment for companies to put these digital assets on the balance sheet. And I think to myself, what does this mean for Ripple? Because remember that XRP, you got to think about it. What does it mean for Ripple and their partners, the whole 9 yards? Because XRP is the only digital asset with legal clarity as to not be a security. Now the FASB comes in and changes the standard from the GAAP accounting method to this fair market value accounting. Yeah, I think it's massive. Let's go over this article real quick. Did I miss anyone checking in? The real big Will is in the building. How are you, babe? So I think that's really significant. Let me update this chat here. What's going on here? Let's get this, make sure this is up and running. Let me, where is it? There it is there. Let me do this. Let me do this. Let's go over this thing real quick. I'm going to share this because I'm going to tune into this game. I'm going to tune into this game, Jungle. NFL, baby. So, well, let me do Michael Saylor's stuff first. Fair value accounting. This is from Michael Saylor, who has been out there in the trenches pushing for some stuff for Bitcoin. The dude ain't just hanging around in his mansions, $50 million mansion. No, he's not doing that. Fair value accounting is coming to Bitcoin, the Bitcoin Maxi says. This upgrade to the FASB accounting rules eliminates a major impediment to corporate adoption of Bitcoin as a treasury asset. Now, again, he would lead you to believe that this is just all about Bitcoin. This is from News Bloomberg Tax. Long-awaited Bitcoin accounting rules to capture rises and dips. So where's what it says? Just her highlights. This is from Nicola M. White. Fair value accounting. What kind of fair value? What basically is fair market value accounting. Rules kicks in and starting in 2025. Wrap tokens, interestingly enough, are excluded from the final rules. Bunch of people, chimed in on this and tried to get wrap tokens to be added, but the board would not do it. Crypto companies and other businesses with significant holdings of digital currencies will get the long-awaited counting rules to measure the value. Let me do this. To measure the value of the Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other crypto in their coffers. U.S. accounting standard setters unanimously voted on Wednesday. Under the new rules expected to be published by the year end, companies that hold or invest in cryptocurrency will be required to report their holdings at fair value. A measurement that aims to capture the most up-to-date value of an asset, including rebounds in value after prices dip. Says here, while the new standards will inject volatility into the earnings of companies that are heavily invested in crypto, the ability to record recoveries will be an improvement over the current practice. Interesting. Again, I ask you, what is it going to mean for Ripple in their upcoming IPO? What does it mean for businesses that want to hold these digital assets in the US? It's not very often that we can take cost out of the system and improve the decision usefulness of information. And it makes it a really easy vote to do both of those. FASB member Christine Bodeson said. The rules will go in effect as soon as 2025, but companies will have the option to apply them early. This is a quote here. It's a great step forward for the entire crypto market. I think it's a great step towards mainstream adoption, says Jeff Runlet, head of accounting strategy at accounting software company Cryptio. Okay. I can see finalizing this proposal to help large corporations that are maybe scared to hold crypto on their balance sheet because they're scared of the technical complexities. So again, I think this is significant, and I think this news is just kind of being brushed over, and no one's really kind of paying attention to this going on, crypto people, to the significance of this whole thing. Let me Jungle says, under GAAP, you had to write down losses, but you can never write back up, right? So it's unfair because if your crypto dips, your financials take a loss even when you don't sell. Yep. But if the price recovers or go up, that is not recognized unless you sell. That's correct. That was the GAAP thing. And interestingly enough, my guy Simon Dixon from Bank to the Future said that the international standards has been this way from the get-go. He posted on X that finally the U.S. is catching up, moving from this gap thing to this fair market value. Now I know it says fair value, but I do think that it's very, very interesting that Jimmy Bally and the Confidential Committee were really, really working hard to come up with this fair market value standard for XRP. I find it to be very, very interesting that they did, and I'm going to share with you. Interesting. Where is it at? Let me make sure. Boy, a comprehensive approach to determine the fair market value of XRP. And I just think there's a reason for it. Now, I think that Jimmy Bally and his background in corporate mergers and acquisitions, doing multi-billion-dollar deals, and also coming from the securities background attorney as well, I think he had the foresight to understand that this was coming, that this accounting change was coming, and that companies, businesses, perhaps even this board, would need a model and or models. Okay. So I think this is significant. Let me share this real quick. There. Yeah, it says a comprehensive approach to determine the fair market value of XRP. Again, I don't know if a company does something, if the FASB is going to come up with their own fair market value. I don't know. But I do know that they'll probably look to something. They can't just shoot from the hip. right? Right? What is the fair market value of XRP? The question is more complex than it sounds, and led a small group of people on nearly a 2-year journey, picking up more along the way to support the effort. Now, I looked at the people who, who kind of put together to put this thing together, and I think they did a really good job in coming up with just more than one model. I think that's important, but I also do think that this wouldn't be the first time that a group of people made up of attorneys and academics in special fields, right? In specific fields, come together to put together models. This wouldn't be the first time. So I do find it interesting that, I feel like Jimmy was, had the foresight to put this together. Will anyone use it? I don't know. Will the FSAB look at that and say, this model makes sense, but the other one doesn't make sense? I don't know. But I think it's important that we have something. So I do find it interesting that the standards, this Financial Accounting Stability Board, or is it Standards Board? I don't forget which one it is. FASB might be Standards Board. I thought it was Stability. Oh, you know what? Let me make sure. Which one is it? Standards Boards, Financial Accounting Standards Board. I have put Stability Boards. I'm going to change that in the live stream. But I do think, I ask myself, what does it mean for Ripple in their upcoming IPO? I think we have to pay attention to that. Michael O2, is right about the snowball. Ripple is right about the snowball effect. Prices keep going down. Yeah. Real Big Will says, what's good, fam? Hope the lady of the house is feeling better. Thank you, Will. In fact, she is, man. I appreciate that. So I do think that's interesting. And I do think, what does this mean? This change, what does it mean for Ripple? What does it mean for other companies, SMEs, enterprises that want to hold the digital asset, right? I think it's hugely important, especially for people, those entities that want to hold it, I think, long term. Right? They're not here for trading, swing trading, or day trading, but they feel like, being able to hold an asset on their books long term could be beneficial to them, especially when you recognize the history of Bitcoin, right? And so holding an asset that, is going to get you 50, 80% a year, being able to hold that. It's outperforming gold over the last 5-7 years. That I know. Jungle says they will look to the most advantageous market for value. Sounds to me like Ripple's XRP is going to be written up in value, making their balance sheet look way better. Absolutely. That's what it feels like to me as well, Jungle. It's a good point. That's what it feels like to me. I mean, the timing couldn't be better for Ripple in their upcoming IPO. Hey, we got a $3 trillion. Don't act like we don't have $1 trillion companies now. Look, we have. I don't know if you know it, Legendary, but we got $1 trillion companies right now. Right now, $1 trillion companies, trillion with a T, and nobody's writing into the congressperson saying, how can you evaluate this company as $1 trillion company? Multiple trillions of dollars right now. Right now we got that. So yeah, I wanted to bring that to you guys, just some food for thought, because I just think, what is that going to mean for Ripple's upcoming IPO? And again, what is this going to mean for corporates, small businesses, enterprises? Sure, it's going to start with Bitcoin. I mean, sure to start with Bitcoin, people putting that on their balance sheet, of course. But there is only one digital asset right now that has legal clarity as not being a security. What is it going to mean to the XRP and XRPL ecosystem? This new change. You know what I mean? Michael O2, what do you think about Stella's announcement tomorrow at the G20? What announcement? Are you talking about the digital identity? Is that what you're talking about, Michael O2, the digital identity thing? So, you know, this is where I am on that. I really do think it's interesting timing. I think it's not only great news for Bitcoin, I think it's great news for the digital asset space as a whole and for companies that want to hold these digital assets. Game changer. It really, really is a game changer. I wanted to bring it to you guys, just some food for thought to tell me what you think. How do you think this is going to affect Ripple's upcoming IPO? The fact that they're changing from this gap standards to this new fair value standard. And also, let me know in the chat, in the comments, what do you think is going on? Jimmy Valley and this confidential committee. I don't think I don't know, did they break up? Are they no longer meeting? I don't know. I feel like there's a reason why they came together. I don't think their job is done. I don't think it was just to put this, this 3, 4, 5 fair market value evaluation models together. I don't think that was the reason, but we'll see. We shall soon see. All right, fam, look, this is going to wrap it up. I wanted to hang out appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with the Crypto Siege on the start of NFL football season. I can't wait. I'm going to grab some chips, freaking my favorite libation, and check out the game tonight, and looking forward to my boys playing Sunday night against them Cowboys. Ugh. You know how that goes. All right, guys. Look, thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate each and every one of you being here. Joe, Buddy, and Michael O2, Jungle Link, Legendary, The Real Big World, Trevor LeConte. I appreciate you guys. I will be reaching out to you, bro. Keyless, the lady of crypto, checked in. South Texas Crypto, as always, I appreciate you, my guy. I appreciate each and every one of you being here. Look, if you're hanging out, if you didn't hit the like button on the way in, do me a favor, hit the like button on the way out. No worries. And if you're hanging out watching the Crypto Siege and you haven't had a chance to subscribe to the channel, please consider subscribing to the channel. And don't forget to ring that notification bell so that you know whenever we go live or whenever we upload a video. Listen, I'm going to end this one like I do all my videos and remind you guys of this. That old money doesn't want you to win. But that's okay, though, because you and I, we're already winning. I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya.